Live from WCTI 12, this is News 12 Now at 6.
New tonight, arrest made in the death of a toddler in New Bern. We're talking about 19-month-old Neilani Sheptok. She was killed in a shooting in 2023.
News 12's Mary Grace Armistead has the latest tonight from investigators. We're going to move to another story now. Donnie, now checking your weather. We'll get back to this story in just a moment.
The forecast and all the rain and also flooding in the area. So, Donnie, what's the latest?
Well, what we are seeing is the water starting to stack up in areas, as you can see here, and this is what happens with flash flooding. It comes down so fast it can't take care of it. We're looking near the circle in downtown New Bern. You see the roads blocked off. As we look off in the distance, you can see the Cunningham Bridge, the drawbridge way off in the distance there. And this is where we're coming in from that direction into the circle, and some cars stalled out there, and not for sure if it was stalled out from the rain or if they were held up because of the flooded road. But as we take a look around and look down Broad Street here, you're going to see again the areas of water starting to actually looks like it may be starting to recede a bit now that the rain has started to let up, but the New Bern police still with the circle closed. So if you were planning on heading downtown for some event tonight, do be aware that we do have this going on downtown. So we're tracking that flooding around the downtown New Bern area after the downpours and the thunderstorms that moved through just a little bit ago. And we do have, by the way, a flash flood warning that runs until 8:15 because of that. Take a look at the radar. Here's what we have going on now for the next couple of hours. We will still see these showers trying to push away, and the heavier rain with the lightning, as you can see, now starting to get a little bit closer to the coast. We'll put the live scan and show you what we do have along the Sound counties and continuing back in to about Highway 17. The heavier rain, a little bit lighter, more scattered rain as you get west of Highway 17. Then as you head southern parts of Onslow County, Carteret County, southern Craven, and even the southeastern part of Jones County, you can see some of the heavier rain, as well as into the southern parts of Duplin County, south of Kenansville there, headed just to the east of Wallace. We have some heavier rain here, but again, we'll continue to track that as we go through the next couple of hours as this pushes on through. You see the radar site down to the south there, right along the South Carolina line south of Wilmington. We were seeing some water spouts and even a tornado warning there earlier because of that water spout was on land, then out over the water, then back on land. So we're going to see some of that continue in that part of the area for the next hour or so. I'll break down the forecast and we'll take a look at the latest track on airing coming up in a couple of minutes.
All right, Donnie. Well, students are soon to board buses and use the crosswalks for the first day of school. Pitt County officials are warning drivers tonight to be safe and to watch their speed. Last semester, 2 Pitt County school buses were involved in a crash on the same day. That was April 16th. One of them happened on busy Greenville Boulevard near the Walmart Supercenter. That's where we find News 12's Maya Cruz tonight. Maya, this is a reminder to pay attention to the roads.
It is, Tyler, and a scary incident took place here at this railroad crossing off of what you described it as the busy street of Greenville Boulevard. A Pitt County school bus was transporting 18 J.H. Rose High School students when they were rear-ended. 13 students complained of having mild injuries, but no serious injuries were reported. And seeing as that may be the case, it's not an incident that officials want to see in the upcoming semester. Most crosswalks or speed limits are set to 25 miles per hour or lower, ensuring the safety of pedestrians. I spoke to Greenville Police Chief Richard Tyndall, who has this message for drivers ahead of the semester.
All we ask is for people to obey the laws, obey the speeding laws, make sure you're not texting and driving, paying attention to what's around you, to the other drivers around you, doing everything you can to make sure that the kids are able to get to school safely.
Chief Tyndall says despite the incidents from last spring, they are not seeing any upticks in crosswalk incidents here in the city. Tyndall says they will be monitoring the number of violations seen on crosswalks as the semester begins, and if they see an uptick in incidents, they will also see an uptick in patrol units around the city. In Greenville, reporting for News 12, Maya Cruz.
Maya, thank you with that important reminder. Happening now, homeowners in Pitt County can get some important information about home repairs. The session is for people in Ayden, Grifton, and Winterville. The annual housing sessions are happening at the Ayden Community Building. They'll provide important information to homeowners in need of repairs through housing grants. Now, if you are looking for a grant, it's mandatory you attend an informational session. Back to the arrest made in a shooting that killed a toddler in New Bern.
Let's check in with News 12's Mary Grace Armistead, who has the latest from investigators tonight.
Val, today the New Bern Police Department, along with District Attorney Matt Wareham and Craven County Sheriff Chip Hughes, did held a news conference announcing the arrest of 2 people after over 2 years of the death of 19-month-old Neilani Sheptok. Now, investigators from the FBI and Craven County Sheriff's Office have concluded this was a targeted shooting, gang-related. The 2 people arrested are 25-year-old Kevion Pitts and 25-year-old Lawrence Everett. Everett was taken into custody in Tennessee, where FBI agents and 2 New Bern investigators coordinated his arrest. He is currently awaiting extradition. Pitts was arrested here in New Bern and made his first court appearance earlier today. Family members of the toddler released a statement through the New Bern Police Department.
Speaking with Neilani's mother and grandmother, I'd like to provide the following statement. I want to thank those who helped and cared for my baby.
The shooting happened back in July of 2023. Neilani's father, Nathan Sheptok, was also shot but not seriously injured. According to officials, Nathan Sheptok was arrested on an unrelated charge and sentenced to 10 years for firearm possession as a convicted felon.
We remain committed to reducing crime and the fear of crime in New Bern and Craven County.
Former District Attorney Scott Thomas, along with current DA Matt Wareham, both supported charging Pitts and Everett with an open count of murder.
Since the events of July 4th, 2023, that time District Attorney Thomas was apprised of the investigation, and at this time we were able to get warrants for this defendant, Mr. Pitts, and a co-defendant who will be extradited from the state of Tennessee.
Now, Kevion Pitts, who was in the court this afternoon, has no bond set, and we will keep you updated as this investigation continues. But reporting live in the Craven County Courthouse, I'm Mary Grace Armistead, News 12.
A craze over Labubu dolls is leaving some customers in Eastern Carolina with counterfeits.
Be on the lookout and be careful where you buy your Labubus. And the best thing is, from what we're told, buy them from the brand store or from their online shop. Don't buy them from any of these souvenir stores.
Atlantic Beach Lieutenant Doug Harvey says dozens of these fake dolls are popping up around town. You may have seen the viral plush toys created by Hong Kong designer Ka-Sing Lung on store shelves. The dolls are a part of the Monsters series, and popularity has skyrocketed in the U.S. A visitor bought several Labubus from a souvenir store for her children, only to find out they were counterfeit. Lieutenant Harvey says her complaint turned into a search and seizure on August 7th alongside investigators from the Carteret County Sheriff's Office and Secretary of State.
She bought some Labubus from a local store here, and they were counterfeit. I asked her what made a counterfeit, and she did her research, so she was able to point out the difference of a toenail color on this figure, the poor stitching, just how the things don't match, different colors.
All the Labubus, along with drug paraphernalia, was taken off the shelves. Lieutenant Harvey says the victim bought those dolls for $30 each. Some of the real Labubus made by Pop Mart retail for hundreds of dollars, depending on availability. Copyright charges are now pending.
Clergy members gathered in Pitt County today to recognize the service and dedication of our first responders. It's all part of the annual Blessing of the Badges. Here you see Pitt County first responders gathered at First Christian Church on East 14th Street in Greenville. Roughly 200 people were there today to receive prayer and a hot meal. Pitt County Sheriff Paula Dance and Greenville Fire Rescue Chief Brock Davenport highlighted safety and unity.
That behind every single badge is a human being, someone's parent, spouse, child, or friend who is taking an oath to stand in the gap between danger and safety.
And it's just a small token of the community, you know, that kind of saying thank you for what you do.
Davenport will retire as fire chief in just a few weeks after 30 years of service. He says he wants to thank the community for their support for first responders. Well deserved.
Certainly. Well, still ahead, an update on a mall shooting in our area. Plus, a rise in break-ins around one town, what police are now asking you to do.
And first, before all of that, we'll take a look. Wawa officially opened its first store in Onslow County today. It's in Jacksonville, on the corner of Western Boulevard and Trade Street. That's near the restaurant Jaggers and by the Goodwill. You know the area. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Police arrested a 14-year-old in connection to the shooting in the Jacksonville Mall parking lot. They say the teen is from South Carolina. The shooting took place August 2nd when the mall was closed. Police say 3 people were shot, 2 of them juveniles. All 3 had non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Information about the suspect is being withheld now because of their age. But investigators do tell us they're working to get the teen back to Eastern Carolina to face charges.
And Swansboro police are asking for your help after a series of break-ins. Take a look. They say the break-ins happened along Hammocks Beach Road off of West Corbett Avenue. If you know this person here, call Swansboro police. Officers do recommend locking your doors, removing any valuables from your car, and staying alert for any suspicious activity.
A Craven County grand jury indicted 5 people Monday in connection to a Riverbend Police Department investigation. They face 139 combined charges. Police investigated fraudulent activity targeting an elderly couple. Officers say the investigation revealed evidence of criminal activity as far back as November 2023. Of the 5 suspects facing charges, 2 were in-home caregivers to the victims. For a list of suspects and their charges, head to WCTI12.com. And U.S. Marshals arrested this man, Patrick Santana Edwards. It happened in Nash County, but investigators say he was involved in a major drug bust in Craven County. They say he's the leader of a one-stop shop where he sold illegal drugs. Here's a look at some video. Last month, we told you how authorities in Craven County searched a home in Vanceboro. That's where they found a large amount of illegal drugs, edibles, vape products, and guns. After the search, they arrested Jerry Anderson and Cameron Shepard. They're still at the Craven County Jail tonight. The investigation is active and more criminal charges are expected.
Well, tonight we're keeping an eye on the track for Aaron. You can see this is for next week. I'll break down those details. Plus, as you look at the Carolinas, you'll see quite a bit of rain along the coast. I'll show you if that'll stick around into tomorrow.
In Craven County, Havelock's 14th annual Fly-In offers a night of fun and learning.
It's happening Friday from 5 until 7 at night at the Havelock Tourist and Event Center. Organizers say the Fly-In is designed to inspire curiosity in aviation and technology while supporting students as they head back to school. You can also enjoy interactive STEM activities, giveaways, prizes, and free school supplies from the Havelock Police Department. Plus, you might even see a familiar face there.
And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at that event, the Fly-In. It's every year that we go down and enjoy and have a great time, and I'll be there from 5 until 7 tomorrow, even doing the weather live from down there as we usually do. Look forward to seeing you in Havelock tomorrow. Now let's take a look at the tropics, and you can see we're starting to see our first watches. This is the northern part of the Lesser Antilles. That is a tropical storm watch. You can see Tropical Storm Erin at this particular position starting to get close enough that the watches and warnings being issued. 60-mile-per-hour winds moving to the west at 17. Now let me show you what we expect to happen as far as the track is concerned. It will continue at westward track, becoming a hurricane tomorrow, sometime middle part of the day to the afternoon, we're thinking, and then it passes just north. So this is the areas where we do have the watch, the tropical storm watch. Notice it is passing fairly close, and then will start to make its way out over the southwestern Atlantic, becoming a major hurricane by the time we get into Sunday. So we'll continue to see that as a possibility. Then it makes that turn to the north. You see our coast here making that turn, and the model still showing that this making its way out to sea. I did want to add some extra spaghetti models in here to show you that most of those are still keeping it offshore, but some trying to push it a little more to the west than what we saw yesterday. And again, we're far enough out there will be some changes in the track and the thinking. So we'll stay on top of that and keep you alerted as we go through the next couple of days. Now, let's take a look at what's happening this afternoon. We have the flash flood warning until 8:15 for the northern and northeastern part of Jones County, central part of Craven County into Pamlico County, southeastern part of Beaufort County, and also in the similar area you can see here that we do have a flood advisory that runs until 8 o'clock tonight. We're seeing street flooding, and of course that's a part of what you see with flash flooding. It just rains a large amount of rain in a short amount of time, has nowhere to go, but then after it finally quits, it does drain on away. But still, if you run into any water across the road, turn around. Don't try to drive through the water. Now, as you take a look, here we go with the showers and thunderstorms. It's been producing some of that flash flooding, and you can see quite a bit of lightning associated with it. And we'll start off to the north and just right along Highway 64 and up into the Albemarle Sounds in Terrell County. And then as you get down to Hoboken, Lowland, Bayboro, continuing to Aurora, New Bern, continuing then to the southeast to Merriman, Atlantic, and Havelock. We're picking up again some of that heavy rain continuing to slowly move off. And then in the southern part of Onslow County and back into Duplin County as well. And then more inland we go. We're seeing more of the pattern that we saw yesterday that just had minor areas of rain yesterday, mainly inland today. Now, as you take a look, the excessive rainfall for the area for today and tonight, that's the reason we're seeing those showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Another round possible tomorrow, 50% chance, 20% chance on Saturday. And then as we get into early next week, we start to watch Erin and the track and how it could impact us. Definitely look for increased rip current threat as well as the rough surf.
All right, Donnie, definitely some hazards out there, so stay safe. The Carolina Panthers had some ups and downs in their joint practice with the Texans today.
And one high school football team gets to play a week before anyone else. We check in on the Parrott Academy next in sports.
The first high school football games of the year scheduled for next Friday, except for one. The Arundel Parrott Academy wearing their retro white pea helmets this year. They're going to kick off the season Saturday night. The Patriots travel to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the second straight year. It is the third annual Black Bear Brawl in the Smoky Mountains, and Parrott will play 8-man superpower Evangel Christian again. The Lightning have won 38 in a row, including beating Parrott 38-19 last year.
Yeah, we're excited, to go play somebody different and, to play Evangel Christian. They have won 38 straight 8-man football games. So we're hoping we can give them a little better test this year and maybe end that streak. We're not quite as deep as they are. They have a little bigger roster than us, and last year that really weighed on us. We want to be a big physical football team. We're going to be to spread it and throw it a lot, but we can still be a physical football team out of the spread. I mean, it's a quick trip. Go up there and play and turn around and be back for school on Monday. So we're excited. Play at 7 o'clock, the primetime game, so that'll be nice.
It will, so we'll see how the Playmakers do this Saturday night in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We will have highlights for you coming up Saturday night. Meanwhile, the scrimmages continue for the 11-man teams in our area who play for real next week, including North Lenore head coach Larry Dale. He tried to call someone to see if they cared. His Hawks were picked to finish last in the Three Rivers Conference. No one did care. So it's business as usual in Wheat Swamp. Larry, in his third year, continues to build a program, and he has a goal during these scrimmages.
Build depth through the whole program. You know, I think we're going to have a really talented freshman and sophomore class, but just keeping them, you know, do you keep them together? Do you build them to try to bridge that smaller class you have in the juniors? So it's just depth.
Let them tell you any different. Well, Larry's fired up for the season. They were picked to finish last year in their conference, and they ended up contending for a league title. The Hawks, they open their season a week from tomorrow, a big rivalry game at Green Central. In the NFL, the Panthers and Texans held a joint practice in Houston. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, old draft classmates, all watching each other go to work. C.J. Stroud, a lot is expected of him in the Texans this year. He had a good time against that Panthers secondary today. It certainly was an interesting practice session for the Panthers and head coach Dave Canales, who liked some things that he saw.
Sloppy in the middle, responded at the end with two great 2-minute finishes for touchdowns at the end of the practice over here, which was phenomenal. And I just keep convincing our guys that's who we are. We finish. You know, games can get ugly in the middle. We have to be able to refocus and rebound.
The two teams will take Friday off and then play each other Saturday, 1 o'clock in Houston. No preseason games on the schedule tonight, but New Bern native Mike Hughes and the Falcons will play Friday night when they host the Titans. Javonte Williams, the former Wallace Rose Hill star, we'll see if he gets any carries when the Cowboys host Keaton Mitchell and the Ravens Saturday evening, and the Commanders don't play until Monday, 8 o'clock. Hey, you can catch the rest of your ENC sports on our website. That's WCTI12.com. I'm Brian North for News 12.
Radar shows the rain moving on through. Some heavy rain with that, so do be careful tonight.
We will. Thanks, Tommy.
And some flash flooding happening now. We know in New Bern, so be careful when you're out and about.
Yes, drive safely.